Alright, I don't have a lot of time here, so I gotta get right to business and get this video kicked off before I gotta go and do some work. Listen, this video is about to go real deep, and we're gonna touch on something that a lot of y'all are familiar with, and it's been talked about a lot of different ways, mostly from a Catholic or Christian perspective, but I'm about to hit y'all with how it's going down from my perspective on my side of reality. And what we're going to be talking about today is the concept of the fallen angels. Who are the fallen angels? What are the fallen angels? You've probably heard many interpretations about, I don't know, there's a lot of stories going with them. They were the ones that God cast down from heaven, the people that was back in Lucifer when he tried to revolt and rebel against God, and they were cast down to the earth. You got Nephilim, you got all these connected stories, man, that people are all talking about. And I'm not here to argue whether they're right or wrong. People can follow what they want to believe. You know, people go their own way. But this is how I'm breaking it down. And I got some stuff written here down, so I try to hit the points that I wanted to cover. It's not going to be everything, but in case you wonder why am I looking to the side, yeah, I got some shit written down here. But basically, fallen angels, I'm about to blow. You know I blow y'all away every time I make a video, man. Here it goes. The fallen angels are actually us, man. It has nothing to really do with any of this Christian stuff coming out of the Bible, man. The fallen angels, this term has been grossly misinterpreted. What it really means is we haven't fallen from grace or fallen from anything. The term fallen angel simply refers to those of us who have decided to come into this physical reality, and we've come here for numerous reasons. And we come from the other side and the other realms of reality, the non-physical ones. A lot of us come here for simply to gain experience in the physical realm that we can't obtain in these other realities. I said this before many times, that physical reality, whether you love it or hate it, it is a unique place that the experiences that we gain here, we can't gain them in any other way except being in a physical body. So this is why we choose to come down here. The other reason is to teach. A lot of us are very old, man, and this is what people don't understand, is that age, you heard the phrase before, age is just a number. It really is just a number. It's not really about the age of a person, it's how far they traveled in their mind, how far the consciousness has gone, and what have they experienced, and what have they done, and what are they capable of. So, I'm not justifying any kind of pedophilia, any of that kind of stuff. Stay away from that shit. But I'm just saying that a person can be young and still be wise with wisdom way beyond their years, based on how they work their mind and what they're going through their own subjective and objective experiences. So, yeah, man, back to this angel stuff, man. Now, let me get on the terms. I've said this before for many other things. The terms don't mean anything. The word angel is just a term that's been used. At some point, it was called something else. They've always called many different things. We have always been called many different things throughout history. At one point, it was angels. Another time, it was Sumari. It goes on and on and on. And these realities are still taking place right now. So all names are valid. Right now, we're going by the term human. Said that plenty of times. We're not even human, man. But we got this belief system going that we're human. So we're these powerful entities walking around talking about we're human, and that very concept belief is what limits our power and prevents us from achieving the pinnacles of our success. But anyway, so what I got down here, I was in my deep meditation, man, and this is what's funny. You know, you could be doing something completely unrelated. I was in the shower, chilling, relaxed. I had my eyes closed, going into a meditation under the water, and suddenly, boom, man, all this info came down real hard about angels. And I'm not Christian like that. I mean, I'm not even I don't follow any religion, but I'm not one of these people who's sitting around all day dwelling on angels. But this is how the information came to me, man. And I tell you how it was told to me, basically. when this information hits me, it's always in the form of, it's just pure knowledge, pure information downloaded into me, and then I have to bring it out into physical words. So sometimes it's interesting. I have all the information. I know exactly what it is, but it's hard to explain it right at that moment in within the limitations of verbal language or written language. So it takes me time sometimes to sit down and really focus and meditate on how I'm going to write this out so that it sounds legible. So now, I'm just going to read to you exactly how it came to me, what I wrote down. This is all written down like me typing like mad crazy, so it's not really organized. And many times I have to go back and reorganize it. But as it was coming out, this is what came to me. It was like, who or what are the fallen angels? The angels or fallen angels are simply the aware portion of all that is, also known as God. The term fallen angel refers to those of us who have decided to enter physical reality for learning purposes, such as gaining experience that cannot be obtained in non-physical realities, and also for teaching and creating experiences that are non-detrimental to the development of other entities. Those who have an unusual, deeper understanding of the nature of reality, and those who understand and feel the emotions of others, most likely will fall into this category of fallen angels, but not always. Once a so-called fallen angel begins to reawaken to what they are, they may begin to experience so-called sudden bursts of intuitive knowledge that goes beyond what the ordinary individual may experience or be aware of in one physical lifetime. Now, let me touch on that for a minute. So basically, when I went into this part here talking about we come here for what I said experience. We come here for learning purposes, getting experience that can't be gained in other places, and to create experiences that are non-detrimental to the development of other entities. So basically, everything's creation, man. We come down and we just start manifesting shit, man. We create things. Everything that you see before you is all manifestations that originated from within any given entity. And if other entities like that idea, they come together, and then you have groups, and they spread out and get these ideas going. And this is everything. Everything existing from Mac computers to this iPhone I'm recording this on. Literally everything, religion, science. It's all just someone's subjective experience, and someone else may have had a similar experience. So then groups begin to form, and it looks like, these things start coming out. They're being organized, but these things naturally come about. These groups naturally form themselves when others have similar experiences, and they decide to come together. That's how you end up with organizations. It's basically all originated from someone's idea, and then finding others who vouched and validated them and supported their idea, and decided to get some type of massive corporate entity going behind it, whether it be a corporate entity with big businesses, corporations, or religion, church, science, all that stuff. But anyway, so yeah, man, we come down here, we're creating stuff. The goal is to create things that will be beneficial to other individuals. Now, I went into something else here in this part. It may not come out too clear. What did I write here? I wrote, some of them fell victim to the pleasures of physical reality and used their knowledge of how to create as a form of power to understand people's emotions. There shouldn't be, then I went into royal families. There shouldn't be any royal families. They were meant to lead the people into a deeper level of understanding, not set themselves up as kings and queens. Hitler and others who have a great power to motivate also fall in this category. All right. Now, what I was trying to get a point across with that was these royal families, man. All right. A lot of these angels that come down, right? And I'm just using the term angels for now, so don't flip. We're not really angels, but we've been called that. So check it, man. We come down to Earth. We're chilling in these other realms. And in terms of infinity, you have to understand, when you think about infinity, man, it's like, a lot of people say, why would you want to come down here to Earth? Why would you want to manifest yourself here and have a fucked up life and have all this drama going on? But in terms of infinity, if you're the ultimate power and you have all this power at your fingertips to manifest whatever you want, coming down to Earth for a quick 50, 60, 70, 80 years, that's the blink of an eye, man. That goes by in no time. So now that we're in this reality And for many who don't remember what they are, it does seem like a drag, and you're sitting here for a long time. But this time frame from our original viewpoint of reality is a flash, flash of a moment, and we don't even notice it. So just think of like fake time. Think about the seconds on a clock. Each second that passes literally would be a lifetime, a whole lifetime of, just say 90 years or whatever, however long you are in a life, or physical reality or any reality. Those pass every second. That was another life that you had. And just as quick as they come, you forget them even faster. So, yeah, we are the aware portion of all that is, aka God. So we come down here, and a lot of us are aware of what we are, and we try to help other people, and that's the goal. Some of these cats that come here, when you have an entity, angel, whatever, when we come down here and we're super powerful, when we start to awaken, man, it's a real sensitive situation, because depending on how powerful we are, I mean, some of us are extremely powerful, and we all have talents to work things different ways. Some people have the gift of words, and they learn how to use language to manipulate people's emotional states. This goes into something I was touching on in the last video about sound, how sound can manipulate matter. When I say sound manipulating matter, I know a lot of people are probably thinking about, using sound to shape buildings, and that's true, but that's another video. But when you talk about sound manipulating matter, man, you're talking about us. The words that you use in language manipulating us, which is really working on our psychological states and our emotional energy. And because we're in physical bodies, therefore it manipulates physical matter. So it's all connected. If you manipulate the energy, you manipulate the body, you manipulate the physical matter, you have an effect on physical reality. See where I'm going with this? So, yeah, man, some of these cats, man, some of our brethren that have been endlessly manifesting themselves to the centuries, they fucked up, man, because they came down here, right? Check it. They became aware. They were aware of what they were. And their job, not jobs, not they didn't have to do it, but what they should have felt obligated to do or wanted to do out the kindness of their own goodwill was to educate others, to help them remember who they are, and so that they can have a better experience in this reality. But man, some of these cats, they were like, nah, man, fuck that. These people, see, this goes into, like, when you hear these stories in the Bible, where it's like, well, Lucifer, God wanted Lucifer to basically bow down to the humans of his creation, all this stuff. I'm just using this as an example, but it's kind of like something like that, where these cats came down here, they manifested, realized that their other brothers and sisters were not up to par and not aware of what was going on. And, entities are weak too, can be weak too, man. A lot of us have fallen victim to the pleasures of physical reality. So we're chilling, and we're like, all right, I could walk around like some other entities have done, also known as Jesus and Buddha, and be poor and try to help people learn who they are. But these motherfuckers are so ignorant. I think I'm going to just use this knowledge I have to set myself up as God, and God of this reality. And this is exactly what's been going on for centuries, for endless centuries in eternity, man. So many of our brethren manifest down here, all the brothers and sisters who are sexless. And they get down here, and instead of helping others, they realize that their other brothers and sisters are asleep. So they start setting themselves up, man. So all these royal families, there should be no royal families. There should have never been any kings and queens. It should have been them taking that knowledge, the ability to have others believe in them, and turn that around back to the people and have them believing in themselves and realizing that none of those institutions were necessary. So, but they didn't do that. And a lot of other characters fall in that group too. Hitler, you look at a person like Hitler, who had complete control of, Nazi Germany, man. He convinced all these people to commit genocide on a lot of unfortunate individuals. Now, who are you going to blame here? Of course, a lot of people say, well, it was Hitler's fault, but Hitler was just one entity, and here you had millions of other entities that all could have been just as free in thinking and make their own decisions, but they follow him. So his word, he cast spells on them, man. He was a powerful speaker and a powerful manipulator of the verbal language, the sound. And he was able to use that to manifest the reality that he wanted. And controlling the population of Germany to follow along with him in this nonsense, such as all the death camps that went on, and genocide and the Holocaust. So just think if that was reversed, he could have used that same energy to lead the people in a completely different direction, but he chose not to. So he's another example of what you could call, an angel or fallen angel who fucking basically fell off, man, and lost track of what he came down here to do originally. So yeah, this is what happens, man. These fallen angels. I gotta rewrite this, man. I gotta stop saying it because people are gonna think I'm going to religion. Long story short, man, we are the fallen angels, and we haven't fallen from anywhere. We're just basically coming down from our non-physical states, coming into this reality. And all these stories, man, all these stories in the Bible, these are all our stories. We are writing these stories, man. And all of these stories, myths and legends of the gods of Olympus, angels, the battle between heaven and hell, this is all simply our own stories that we are supposed to be using to help us remember who and what we naturally are. But we have become, what's the word I'm looking for? We just become confused, man, and we lost sight and track of what we really are, and we began worshiping all those myths and stories, man, that we actually wrote. We actually put these down for us in the form of just say like how a person would look at comic books and stuff. We wrote these stories out. Some of them were true, some of them were just manifestations of our own creation, and we put them down in written form, and they were meant to just help us remember who we are so we don't fall back into the trance. So when I recommend books in the past, like I don't go into it too deep anymore because I don't want to hit people over the head with shit, but books like the Seth material, all those books, the Seth books, all that stuff is written down. It serves a purpose. The purpose is that information is there, and there's lots of other information too, but this is information that I support with myself, and this reality is this information is basically put down by us, I said it last time, from our future selves, manifesting, putting that information out there as a reminder. Physical reality is so powerful, you easily get pulled into the trap, man, and you end up forgetting who you are and what you are. So those books, that information is put there so that when you feel yourself slipping, you pick up the book, you look at it, and it starts triggering those codes within your consciousness and reawakening the information. You go, all right, yeah. That's right. I am a multi-dimensional being. I do have ultimate power. I am the creator. I am a portion of all that is. Fuck Xbox. Fuck PlayStation 4. But if you like those things, that's cool. But some people get addicted to them and they lose sight of what they're here for. So when I recommend certain material, it's basically, I said it before, it's our material that the higher portion of ourselves has ejected into this reality. And a lot of people say, well, why does it have to be in a book? Why can't it be this? Why can't it be that? Well, we're in physical reality, so there's so many ways that things can get at us. Obviously, the original writings and original things that are written for us down in the temples in Kemet, also known as Egypt, and all around the world that our ancestors left for us in this reality to help remind us of what we are. We don't pay attention to that shit no more, man, because number one, it's either too far out of the normal person's reach in some far off country, and two, because of the way this reality has been set up, we basically look at those things as just fairy tales, fantasy, or the writings of mad tribal civilizations that were non-civilized. But basically, it's the same deal. And a lot of the information is real, but because of where we're at and our point in so-called space and time, we look at that stuff and see it as just scribbles on a wall, and nothing that has any validity to it. So, the information must be updated, man. That's why I said the Bible has become outdated. I'm not trying to really knock it, but you can't look at the Bible. The way people were speaking during those times made sense to them. They could pick that up and read right through it. Us now, because of our conditioning in this modern time, so-called modern time, We look at that and it's like a fucking, written by the Riddler, and trying to solve a big mystery, excuse me, to find out what they're talking about. So the information must be re-updated and sent back out to help those of us who are within this specific time frame. It has to make sense to us now. Just like right now, all that information in the Seth books and all the information in other books that exist now, that too will become obsolete at some point in a distant future, thousands of years from now. People won't understand that. They'll be within a different time frame and a different mentality. And another entity, which is our higher entities, or the entities during that time, for whoever's possessing this reality, it will be up to them, their higher selves, to kick that information back to them in whatever medium is necessary and acceptable during their perception of time and space. So yeah, all these things I'm talking about, man, they're always meant to empower you. So I see people, man, they're praying to Saint Michael and archangels and all this stuff. And you got these TV dramas showing angels and all this stuff. All these things are based on us. They're talking about us, man. And nobody has really seemed to break this down and get at it, man. I did see some information on the internet. People say the fallen angels are us. They're right. But then they go into some whole, Genesis and the Bible, and Jesus said this, and God said that, and, we're here because we got to pay for our sins and all that. I mean, if you want to believe that, you believe what you want, but once you go down that road, you can't really, it's like no way to pull yourself out. It's like, God damn, now I'm a fallen angel, now I got to, original sin, I got to pay for this, I got to pay for that, now there's karma, and you lose track of your power, man. So all this stuff is connected, man. It's all connected. I'm giving y'all hints, dropping them left and right like hotcakes, man. Going back to that forbidden language, the ancient language, what I tell you before, it used to be called the language of God, the language of the angels. Look up someone named Francis D. Francis D was I think he was a famous British occultist. He made up this language called the Enochian language. Enochian, in many different ways. Francis D, I believe he supposedly had the largest library in the world at the time. At one point, I think he was working for the Queen of England or something like this. But if you just look up his name on the internet, Francis D, Enochian language, he has this language that he claims came from the angels. And he wrote a whole, grimoire and text and how to communicate with them. And there's a lot of people who believe in this. But the bottom line is, it was a language that he said, it wasn't a written language. I mean, it wasn't a verbal language that was being spoken at the time. It was a language clearly devised from the heavens or from the angels to communicate with us here. So this ties, when you start connecting your dots, you look at Francis D's Enochian or Enochian language, and then you look at glossolalia, and then you look at what I'm talking about, the ancient language, the Seth language, the dream language, the trance language, you're going to see all these connection points, man. All these things, what Francis D was really tapping into was his higher self. The higher self, the inner self, was communicating with him in the language that is native to all of us. We all have this native language that is not, it doesn't fit within any type of verbal language that's being spoken. It goes beyond that. And that's basically what he was tapping into, was his own ancient language, his own dream language, his own trance language. He decided to call it, no, just like I said, the Set language is also called the Seth language, it's also called Sumari language. He wanted to call it the Enochian language or the Enochian language, and it goes on and on and on. The names are not important. What's important is, look at the similarities between all these things. They're all connecting. So, let me see. Am I leaving anything out? Most likely I am. I always leave something out. Remember it later, like, fuck, man, I forgot to say this. But yeah, I've been getting a lot of love recently, man. I appreciate it from all of you. A lot of people hitting me up on Facebook. I apologize if you hit me up on Facebook and I don't respond as quick, because I'm not really on Facebook like that, because I got other things going on. But I try to look at Facebook and see what people send me and stuff. I do respond probably quicker to the YouTube videos, because I'm on that more often. But I appreciate all y'all, man. I really do. Because this is what it's all about, man. I'm trying to help all the brothers and sisters out here reawaken. And when y'all send me these mails back, it makes me aware that I'm not just throwing videos out into the ether and nobody's paying attention. So I do read all the mail y'all send me, and I always appreciate it. And I try to save them too on my iPad, and I flip through them to give me more motivation and things to talk about and keep me hyped up and shit. But yeah, let me see what else. I'll make y'all laugh right now, man. I'll make y'all laugh before I go. I gotta go. I got like a few minutes. Check it out, man. I just found out recently. Now, some people say, "Oh, that's embarrassing," but it's not, because there's nothing to be embarrassed about. We're all here. I realized recently that I may be a bit of a narcissist. Now, I was talking to my friends, man, and they were like, "Yeah, you didn't know that?" Everybody's like, "Oh, we knew that already, man. You just found out now that you're a narcissist?" Which is mostly women that I hang out with over here, and they're like, "Yeah, we already knew that. You didn't know that?" And it's funny because one day I was in class, I'm chilling, I'm teaching, they were reading a paper, and I caught myself looking in the mirror at me, admiring myself, and I'm like, all right, some may call me a narcissist, but also I would say I'm a narcissist who has it under control, because yeah, I do say I'm the king, I do say I'm God, I do say I'm the ultimate creator in my universe, but whoever I'm with, I always tell them, yeah, I'm all those things, and so are you. So I'm never at a point where I'm looking down on anybody. I never look down on people. And anytime, if anybody's with me, yeah, I'm me. This is who I am. So I'm always like, yeah, man, well, you know me. I'm the fucking ultimate creator of my universe. I never say the universe, because there's millions of us here. Infinity of other entities in these realities. So I always say, I am the king, I am the God, I am the master creator. I am the shit in my universe, and so are you, and so are you, and so are you over there. We all have this power, and I think there's nothing wrong with that, man. I don't think there's any wrong with thinking that you're the shit, as long as you're not putting other people down or stepping on them while saying. If I'm saying, yeah, man, I am the shit, and so are you, you're the shit too, then I think that's a good thing, because I'm building up morale and motivation in others, man. And that's the only way to be. When I go into these other realms, when I'm doing all this seems like high level stuff and going into consciousness, other realms of consciousness, dream states, deep meditations, I can't do all that stuff powerfully if I'm coming off weak. I have to think I'm hot shit. I have to think I'm the man. I have to think I'm the most powerful entity, because that's the only way I'm going to break through those barriers and not be afraid of what I come across. Sometimes I do come across some stuff that the average Joe entity on the block would fucking be terrified. And the only way I could blast through those things is by being overconfident and by being a narcissist within myself, saying, I'm the fucking king, back up. And that's the only way I can keep myself going. So I gotta go, man. It's a quick video. I'm probably gonna touch more on that this fallen angel bit, but I'm just giving you something to meditate on for right now. Love y'all all. Peace, love, and harmony as always. And I'm gonna get back at y'all, but yeah, it's a little teaser to keep you motivated. All right, man. Keep your training up. Don't fall off, and get at y'all soon. Later.